Yeah, good morning, Nat. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday, week one of the 2023 college football season. Got underway Thursday night, Florida and Utah, Nebraska and Minnesota, a couple of games last night, Miami of Ohio, Georgia Tech and Louisville. And, of course, a full slate of games today, which we will be going through game by game. Yeah. Welcome to the College Football Kickoff Show. That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live on LouTube for you. Thanks for watching. We do this every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Get you ready for the day's college football games. We're going to take a look at all the upcoming games today, what's coming on, when is it coming on, what channel is it coming on. We're going to talk about all the big matchups. College Game Day is live from Charlotte, North Carolina this morning. North Carolina versus South Carolina tonight in prime time. Lots of big games. We'll take a look at the latest odds, spreads, betting numbers, that kind of thing. See if we can figure out a way to make or lose some money betting on college football. I've done all right so far. I hit on the Minnesota-Nebraska game. I had Nebraska in the points. That was good. Boy, we're going to talk about Georgia Tech, but wow, what just an epic second half collapse. But I hit on that, too. I had Georgia Tech in the points, so I'm good there, too. So off to a good start for Uncle Lou. Of course, at the end of the show, we'll try to give some money away. Shout out to Mayhem Matthew. He actually won last week. The rigged wheel every Saturday morning here on the College Football Kickoff Show. Give somebody a chance to make some money. I think we're going to pick two winners today. We'll pick two winners today instead of one. We did one last week. Shout out to Mayhem Matthew. What did he pick? He picked the over. I think he went over. He picked the over in Vandy, Hawaii, I believe. And he hit. So shout out to Mayhem Matthew. We'll see if we can give some more money away again today at the end of the show. Every Cash App and PayPal will get your name added to the rigged wheel. I think most of you know what the rigged wheel is. Hey, we'll explain it more in a few minutes. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Welcome to the 2023 college football season. About a week into the season now, I guess, if you count week 0. Here's a recap of the week 0 games for those of you who just woke up from your off-season hibernation and maybe skipped week 0. Southern Cal, of course, beat San Jose State. Defense looked absolutely horrible for Southern Cal. Not a big surprise. Notre Dame steamrolled Navy in Ireland. Notre Dame looked good. Offense, defense, running, passing. Really, the only negative, I guess, you could take away, I think Notre Dame missed a field goal in that game. Other than that, they just absolutely dominated. Hawaii and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt did win. A little disappointing, though. I thought Vanderbilt should have won that game by 3 scores, but they didn't. And they couldn't run the ball, and that's concerning. Hawaii was terrible against the run last year. They were something like 128th against the run. And Vandy had, I think, 40 yards rushing. Now, of course, Florida looks at the Vandy rushing numbers and goes, wow, 40 yards? Wish we could get that. You know? Don't worry, we'll talk about the Florida game in a second. That was pretty much it for week 0. And, of course, week 1 kicked off on Thursday night. Florida at Utah. Utah 24, Florida 11. Utah was without their first and second string quarterbacks in that game and still put on a clinic and absolutely embarrassed Florida, me, and the entire SEC in the process. A pitiful performance for Florida all the way around. I see some people running around going, well, at least Graham Mertz played well. Did he? Did he? No, he didn't. I don't. Throwing for 300 yards in and of itself does not mean you played well. The guy had 50 pass attempts. He had a QBR of 30. 30. You know how low that is? That's like Spencer Rattler low. Graham Mertz did not have a good game. And that's against Utah. Wait till some of these SEC defensive lines start getting after him. The guy can't move. The guy cannot move. He makes Jake Fromm look like Lamar Jackson in the pocket. It's going to be a long season. I feel bad for Graham Mertz. You know what? If you want to give credit to Florida for something on Thursday, how about the toughness of Graham Mertz? Because he got absolutely destroyed for 4 straight quarters. I mean, he was getting hit and knocked down on almost every single play. How many times? I don't know how many times he was actually sacked. It had to be 4 or 5 at least. But he was knocked down 3 times as many times. I mean, he just took an absolute pounding. There was a couple of hits he took where I really didn't think he was going to get up, or if he did, I said, well, that's it for Graham Mertz for sure. He's going to, but he got right back up. Went back and ran the next play. So, I mean, if nothing else, I guess if you're looking for a positive, Graham Mertz is one tough motherfucker because he took an absolute beating Thursday night. But Florida did not look good. They ran for 13 yards in that game. 13 yards. And honestly, and clearly I'm going to talk a lot about that game tomorrow on the Your Season is Over video, so I'll move on here in a second. But there are some serious coaching issues going on at Florida. Now, we can say what we want about the talent or the lack of talent in certain areas. Clearly, the offensive line is bad. There were some serious red flags in that game from a coaching perspective. The special teams issues, unacceptable. Absolutely horrendous. Was at the end of the first half, Billy Napier, Florida gets the ball back with, 5, 6, 8, 10 seconds to go, whatever it was. Billy Napier calls a timeout, then sends the offense out on the field to take a knee. Just a lot of weird. There's some. Look, Billy Napier doesn't know what he's doing, and he's not a Power 5 level coach. I don't know. I know there was a lot of fire Billy Napier going around yesterday on Twitter from Florida fans. They're mad right now, but I don't know how many Florida fans actually want Billy Napier fired. I still think it's going to be almost impossible to fire a year 2 head coach unless something happens off the field. But I just I don't see how anybody can still be support. Like I don't see how any Florida fans can be. Yeah, Billy Napier's the answer. He just needs another year or 2 to turn it around. Billy Napier has been an absolute disaster. He's gotten to 8 losses quicker than any Florida coach in history. 8 losses total. They're currently on a 4-game losing streak. They've lost 2 games in a row to Pac-12 teams. They lost to Vanderbilt last year. It just hasn't been good. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Kickoff Show. Yeah, so that was the Florida game. Wake Forest beat Elon, Central Florida all over Kent State. I feel bad for Kent State. Kent State was a pretty good group of 5 team last year. You can laugh if you want to, but they were so good that the Power 5 absolutely raided them in the offseason. They came and took all their players. They came and took all their coaches. Kent State ran a very innovative offense last year and gave Georgia some problems. Georgia played Kent State last year, and that offense gave Georgia some problems. And Sean Lewis, the head coach at Kent State, who ran that offense, you know where he's at now, don't you? That's right. He's the offensive coordinator at Colorado. Anyway, I feel bad for Kent State because they went from having a pretty good group of 5 team to just basically barely having enough players to field a team. The Power 5 just completely raided that roster and coaching staff. Wake Forest, Central Florida all over them, 56-7. NC State, not a good outing for NC State, 24-14 over UConn. Nebraska and Minnesota, setting offense back a million years there. It looked like Iowa playing Iowa. Imagine Iowa playing Iowa. That's what the Nebraska-Minnesota game looked like. Minnesota ends up winning 13-10. Minnesota didn't score a touchdown in that game until 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Minnesota was down 10-3. They scored a touchdown, tied it up at 10. Nebraska gets the ball with, a minute and a half to go, whatever it is. All they need is a field goal, of course, to win the game. They get a decent drive going. They get down around the Minnesota 40. They need, 15, 20 yards to kick a game-winning field goal. Turnover. Minnesota gets the ball back. They then go down the field and end up kicking the game-winning field goal themselves. They beat Nebraska 13-10. Rough start for Scott Frost. Matt Rule at Nebraska, losing on the road to Minnesota. Tulsa won big. Missouri 35-10 over South Dakota. Make what you will of that. And the worst team in the Pac-12, Arizona State, survives a scare from Southern Utah, 24-21. Those were your Thursday games. UAB won big as well. And then, of course, we had the games last night. Miami versus Miami. Miami won and Miami lost. The Miami Ducks of South Florida, 38. The Miami Redhawks, I believe it is, of Miami of Ohio, 3. So shout out to the Hurricanes. They get off on the right foot. 1-0 start for them. And then Georgia Tech and Louisville. Man, the most Georgia Tech way to start a season. First of all, we'll start with Louisville. All the hype around Louisville in the offseason, I never understood it. I never agreed with it. I don't think Jeff Brom is some elite-level head coach. I mean, I guess he was decent at Purdue. You say, well, he won the Big Ten West last year. The Big Ten West was a clusterfuck last year. I mean, with like 2 weeks to go in the season, half the league had 4 losses and was tied for first place, and Purdue ended up being like the pile of poop that stunk the least. They won the Big Ten West, but, then got destroyed by Michigan in the Big Ten title game, then got destroyed by LSU in a bowl game. They just weren't very good. Jeff Brom comes home to Louisville. A lot of people hyping up Louisville in the offseason. The only 2 things they ever really said about Louisville was, oh, watch out for Louisville. You'd say, well, why? Well, Jeff Brom is there, and look at their schedule. They don't play Clemson or Florida State. This is something I've been trying to tell people who are ragging on Georgia's schedule. Who you play has nothing to do with how good you are. Nothing at all. You're not better. Louisville is who they are, okay? Louisville is going to be the team they're going to be. Whether they play Florida State or Clemson or the Buffalo Bills during the season, isn't going to change how good or bad of a team they are. They're the team that they are. Georgia's a top 5 team. It doesn't matter who they play. So, well, Louisville doesn't play Clemson and Florida. I don't give a shit who Louisville plays. They're not a good team. And Georgia Tech came out and was all over them. And in the second quarter of that game, if you watched the Georgia Tech-Louisville game yesterday, in the second quarter, it looked like Georgia Tech was going to win that thing by 40 points. I mean, Georgia Tech was going up and down the field, doing whatever they wanted to offensively. Louisville couldn't get a first down. It was the most dominant quarter of football I've seen Georgia Tech play in years, the second quarter of that game. And then halftime happened. And I don't know what happened in the locker room. I don't know what sorts of adjustments were made by either team. I don't know what happened at halftime. But Georgia Tech came out in the second half and looked like the same old Georgia Tech we've been watching for the last 3 or 4 years. Horrendous. Couldn't pass block. Couldn't run the ball. Couldn't complete passes. On defense, they couldn't stop Louisville. Louisville scored, how many points did Louisville score in the third quarter? Anyway, it was 28-13 at halftime. It was 28-13 at halftime. Louisville comes all the way back, takes the lead, ends up winning the game 39-34. Just a heartbreaking loss if you're a Georgia Tech fan, because they had to be excited in the second quarter of that game. And to Georgia Tech's credit, even though the second half happened, I still think Georgia Tech looked like a better team than what we've seen from them the last few years. But that second half collapse had to be heartbreaking. I mean, it had to be, because the Georgia Tech fans were probably thinking, finally they have something here. They're going to start the season off on the right foot, that kind of deal. And look, the reality is Georgia Tech's trying to get to a bowl game. They're not trying to win 10 games. They're not trying to win the ACC. I mean, that stuff is way down the road. They're trying to win 6 games and get to a bowl. And at halftime of that game yesterday, Georgia Tech getting to a bowl game seemed like a certainty. But after what I saw in the second half, I don't know. They just completely fell apart in the second half of that game. And again, I don't think Louisville's a great team. I don't think Louisville's a great team. but they come out with the win 39-34. Kansas all over Missouri State 48-17. And for shout out, who stayed up to watch that one? I'm going to admit I did not. So before I talk too much about this Stanford-Hawaii game, I'm going to have to at least watch one of the highlight reels on YouTube, one of the, watch the game in 20 minutes type of deal, or read something on. I literally can't talk about the Stanford-Hawaii game. I didn't watch one play of that game, but Stanford ends up winning 37-24. So there's your wrap up for the Thursday and Friday games. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Are we excited for a great day of college football? Uncle Lou is. I can't wait. I'm ready to get this thing started. We're going to go through all of today's matchups, take a look at what's coming on, what time it's coming on, what channel it's coming on, all that kind of stuff we normally do on a Saturday morning. We're going to take a look at all the latest odds on these games, see if we can figure out a way to make or lose some money betting on college football. And, of course, we've got the rigged wheel that we do every Saturday morning here on a college football kickoff show. Please hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. That's a huge help to the show. It doesn't cost you anything. It's literally the easiest, simplest thing you can do to help support the live show is hit the thumbs up. So if you have not hit the thumbs up yet, if you're excited for the start of college football season over the last 7 days, and today being really the first full day of college football, then hit that thumbs up. We've got some great games today. We're going to talk about them all and go through them and figure everything out for today. And, of course, we got to talk about what everybody's eating today. That's my favorite part about the Saturday morning show is talking about what everybody's eating for their college football Saturday. So we'll get to all that on today's show, but I wanted to start out by wrapping up the first couple of days of week one and get ourselves caught up, and now we are. So how's everybody doing? Can we take roll? Would that be a safe thing to do? Can we take roll and see who's here? Yeah, let's do that. Let's take roll and see who's here. I see Little YT, Marie, Junkyard Dog, The Biscuit, TCB, Dan Davis, D4L, Jedediah. What's up, buddy? Big Dog Brett, Junkyard Dog, Darius Senior, JR is here, James Gordon, Bob Sacramento. All right, let me slow this chat down. Jay Drizzle says, where's my wrench? Wrench are handed out on the Patreon stream, same as always. Patreon streams today at noon. I'll get into the streaming schedule here in a few minutes. Matt Dummett, Pastor Dave, The Big Brother, Jarvis S. The Big Brother says free Jim. You're going to have to take that up with Michigan. Michigan suspended Jim Harbaugh. So if you want Jim to be freed, you're going to have to call the athletic director and the school president up at Michigan. Jarvis S., Colby, Cody, Araj, the Sammy YP, Will Bennett, Todd B., Brad Pitt, Les Bullis, Andy Summers, The Biscuit, Go Dogs, Pab, AU Tiger Fan, Travis Shuttleworth, Nature Boy, Bad Dog. What's up, Bad Dog? Brian Gentry. Bad Dog, I took Arkansas State in the points today. Nothing personal. Just is what it is. Hog Dog, Uncle Lou's millionth viewer is here. That's amazing. Shout out to you. Yeah, the Big Brother, Okie29, Marie, Darius Senior, Dan Blackshear, Charlie, Brian Gentry. Keep it funky IRL. Thank you for hitting the super chat to help support this show. I sure do appreciate that. Thank you. Direct donations are what keep these live shows on the air. So big shout out to you, Funky IRL. Cable Demon 6. Thank you as well for the super chat. He says, finally, the best college football Saturday morning show is back. Good morning in that Lou. Go Dogs. Sick 'em UJ by 30 plus today. JG, thank you for the super chat. He said, they ain't played nobody. Who have they played? Who have Georgia played? Woo! Who have Georgia played? Woo! Yeah, I don't know. Hell, nobody ain't played nobody ever. According to my comment section, who have they played? Not a single soul. Not a single soul. Thank y'all for hitting the. Thank y'all for hitting the super chat. All right, here's the streaming schedule for today. Of course, we got the kickoff show live right now. We'll go till about 11 a.m. this morning. or so, depending on how it goes. The Patreon stream today, as voted on by the Patreon members, the Patreon stream will be at noon. And, of course, we got a couple of interesting games coming on at noon. We'll get to the schedule of games in a minute, but today's Patreon stream will be at noon. So all of you who are members over on the Uncle Lou Patreon page, if you're new to the Patreon page, the way this works is you just go over to the Patreon page around noon. You'll see a link posted. It'll be the first post on the page that you see. There'll be a link posted. It'll say link to week 1 stream. You just click that link, and it'll take you to the live stream for the noon games, and we'll hang out and watch all the 12 o'clock early games, and there are some good ones. We're going to have a really good time. I love those Patreon streams. I have such a good time on those things. Can't wait to hang out with y'all today and watch those games. As far as a YouTube stream goes today, if I do a YouTube stream today, it will be for the primetime games like South Carolina, North Carolina. Again, we'll get to the schedule in a minute. The Georgia game today comes on at an odd time. It doesn't fit into any of the 3 traditional time slots, noon, 3:30-ish, or 7:30-ish. The Georgia game comes on at 6, plus it's not on TV. It's streaming only on ESPN+, and they're playing UT Martin. Like somebody said a minute ago, Georgia by 30 plus. They're just going to absolutely destroy UT Martin. Unless you're just a huge Georgia fan, there's not much reason to even watch that game. Outside of maybe some curiosity about Carson Beck and seeing how he does, how he looks, Georgia's new starting quarterback, it's UT Martin. I mean, literally nobody is excited about this game except for maybe first-year starters at UGA who are getting their first start today. But just an absolute nothing burger of a game. And I mentioned it the other day, but to the Georgia fans complaining about Georgia not being on TV or no respect for the back-to-back national champions not being on TV, don't schedule UT Martin in week 1. I mean, that's about the best I can. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. Don't schedule UT Martin as your week 1 game. If you don't want to be on some sort of weird streaming only deal. I mean, this is a game that absolutely nobody has been talking about or looking forward to watching. And if ESPN or any other channel were to put this game on TV, the ratings would be in the toilet. No one would watch it. So they've chosen to put it on the streaming only. So that's just, it is what it is. Don't schedule UT Martin. Don't schedule UT Martin. I don't know what else to tell you. They're an FCS team. Other than that, that's what the best part is about just being a college football fan like me. Yes, Georgia's my favorite team, but I'm a college football fan. So there's 20 games today I can watch and be excited about. Never mind the fact Georgia's playing a literal nobody. And that's no disrespect intended for UT Martin. UT Martin knows they're about to get the shit beat out of them. They're only playing this game for a paycheck. So, it is what it is. What are you going to do? So that's the streaming schedule. If I do stream on YouTube, it'll be for the primetime games tonight, and I'll just kind of make that decision at some point this afternoon or tonight if I want to stream tonight on YouTube or not. Either way, of course, there will be multiple videos uploaded to the channel today throughout the day, reaction videos. I like to do halftime videos. So every once in a while, I'll do some post-game videos. Now, for Georgia, I'll do a halftime video and a post-game video. For some of the other games, maybe I'll just do halftime, maybe I'll just do post-game. But there will be short reaction videos uploaded all throughout the day today on this channel, so make sure you check those out. As they're uploaded, you'll get my thoughts in real time about whatever games happen to be going on at the time. All right, what we're going to do is put the schedule up on the screen and go through it game by game. We're going to figure out what do we need to watch today, when do we need to watch it, and what channel do we need to watch it on. Real quick, in case there's anybody new to the College Football Kickoff Show, the rigged wheel. So at the end of the College Football Kickoff Show every Saturday morning, we attempt to give some money away. The way this works, everyone who sends either a PayPal or a Super Chat during this morning's show, not a Super Chat, I'm sorry, a PayPal or a Cash App. I can't do Super Chat because YouTube steals half the Super Chat, so it just doesn't work to do giveaways through the Super Chat. YouTube takes almost 50% of your super chat. So anybody that sends a PayPal or a Cash App, and those links are in the description of the video. I'll post them real quick in the chat section, but the chat section scrolls by pretty quick and then they're gone. But these links are also in the description of the video. But anybody that sends a Cash App or a PayPal, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, a Cash App or a PayPal during this morning's show, your name will get added to the rigged wheel. What's the rigged wheel? Well, it's just a wheel. It's a digital wheel. Let's see, where is it? Rigged wheel. There it is. Just do a Google search for rigged wheel and it'll come up. Anyway, it's just this wheel here. So you get rid of that. And, everybody that sends a PayPal or a Cash App, I type your name on the wheel like this. At the end of the show, we spin the wheel like that. Whichever name the wheel lands on, you get a chance to win some money. You get to pick any game you want today against the spread. Any game you want against the spread or an over-under. You can either pick against the spread or you can pick an over-under. Any game on today's schedule. And if you get your pick right, then Uncle Lou sends you back twice whatever you sent me. Up to $25. Don't be sending me more than $25. And this is just a way to, this is just something fun to do for the people who help support the show and the channel through direct donations, which, of course, is what keeps these live shows on the air. So, again, the PayPal and the Cash App links are in the description of the video. We'll attempt to give some money away. If the winner is unsuccessful in today's pick, if they get the pick wrong, then their potential winnings will roll over to next week. So, in other words, if somebody's got a chance to win $25 today, but they get their pick wrong, then that $25 rolls over to next week's winner. And then they then, in theory, could triple their money next week. Now, it didn't roll over from last week to this week because Mayhem Matthew actually got his pick right last week. He had the over on Vandy in Hawaii, and the over hit. So congratulations to Mayhem Matthew. He was last week's winner. We're also going to pick a second name at the end of today's show. And so we're going to have two winners today. One will get to pick a game. The second one is going to get something else. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But I think most people know how this works by now. So, again, that's Cash App and PayPal. Links in the description. And, all right, let's get to today's games. Let's talk some actual football. So starting off with some noon games today, a lot of not great matchups today. The one bad thing about week one being spread out over 5 days, Thursday through Monday, and you got games all 5 days, one of the downsides of that is there are not as many good games on Saturday, right? Imagine if Florida and Utah, so you take all the games we have today. What if you also had Florida and Utah? You also had Florida State and LSU. You also had Clemson and Duke. These are all interesting games that are being played this week on days other than Saturday. So there's not a ton of big matchups today because the games are spread out over 5 days. But there are some interesting games. But starting off at noon, speaking of streaming, over on the Peacock Network, Michigan hosts East Carolina. Michigan, of course, sort of famously now, has not played a non-conference Power 5 opponent in the regular season in quite some time. They keep playing nothing but Group of 5 teams in the non-con. In fact, they haven't beaten a non-Big Ten Power 5 opponent in years. They keep beating all these Group of 5 teams in the regular season, and then they get to the postseason and lose to whatever team they play. That problem gets fixed, I believe, next year. They have a home-and-home scheduled with Texas. But anyway, they open up the season today at home against East Carolina, noon over on Peacock. Virginia at Tennessee. Get another look at Joe Milton, quarterback for Tennessee, replacing Hendon Hooker. A couple of their wide receivers gone off to the NFL. Will the offense suffer at all? Not today. Not today against one of the worst Power 5 teams in the country, Virginia. We're going to take a look at the odds on these games here in a little while. But Tennessee's a 28-point favorite in this game. They might be up 28-0 halfway through the second quarter. Virginia's really bad. This is a neutral site game played in Nashville today. Virginia at Tennessee, 12 o'clock on ABC. Probably the noon game people are looking forward to the most today. Colorado on the road at TCU. So our first look at Deion Sanders' revamped Colorado squad with his son Shador at QB, Travis Hunter playing defensive back and wide receiver. Totally rehauled that roster. I mean, I feel like we've been talking about Colorado and all the changes they've made and what it's going to mean for this season for a long, long time. We finally get a chance to see them play some football today. And I have a feeling for Colorado and Colorado fans and Deion stands, today is going to be a day they wish never came. I feel like Colorado sort of wishes they could live in the offseason forever. They've been getting a ton of attention. Deion Sanders puts his face in front of any microphone that will interview him. He's all over everywhere. But once we start playing games and the rubber meets the road, I'm not so sure Colorado is going to like the results. But they kicked the season off today on the road at number 17 TCU, 12 o'clock on Fox. Oklahoma hosts Arkansas State. Oklahoma's a big favorite, favored by 35 last I looked on that one. How much better will Oklahoma's defense be year 2 under Brent Venables? It better be a whole lot better. It better be a whole lot better. Because this is Brent Venables' last sort of warm-up season before heading into the SEC next year. And if that defense doesn't take a massive step forward this season, that's a huge red flag. The problem for Brent Venables and Oklahoma fans is, they had the bad year last year, and it's easy to say, well, it was his first year there. That's all. It was just his first year. This year will be better. And you could be right. The problem is there's nothing in the past to point to with Brent Venables to give you any type of comfort. He's never been a head coach before, in other words, is what I'm saying. It's not like they hired a coach that's proven somewhere, which would make it easier to overlook a bad season. It was a bad season. So we'll see how it goes this year, but a massive improvement needed for Oklahoma this year. Utah State at Iowa. The Oklahoma game comes on noon on ESPN. Utah State at Iowa, 12 o'clock on FS1. Iowa's a 25-point favorite in that game last time I looked. Can Iowa score 25? We're going to find out. They host Utah State. Kentucky kicks things off at noon on the SEC Network. They host Ball State, who I believe Georgia plays next week. Georgia, I believe, plays Ball State next week. Bowling Green at Liberty, Fresno State at Purdue, Louisiana Tech at SMU. Newly added to the ACC, SMU. That's right. The ACC presidents voted yesterday to add SMU, Cal, and Stanford to the ACC, I think effective next season, 2024. SMU, a group of 5 team for this year, though. They host Louisiana Tech on ESPNU at noon. Northern Illinois at Boston College, Long Island University at Ohio, Western Carolina at Arkansas. That takes us through the noon games and into the 1 o'clock games. Robert Morris at Air Force, Mercer at number 22 Ole Miss, 2 o'clock streaming on ESPN+. Lane Kiffin, who's going to play quarterback? Will there be more than one quarterback that plays? Will it be all Jackson Dart? Will it be some Jackson Dart? Some random combination of QBs for Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. When is Lane Kiffin going to get a big win at Ole Miss, by the way? Because the answer so far has been never. His best win since taking the job as head coach at Ole Miss is a win against Indiana in an Outback Bowl. So we'll see. Zach Evans gone off to the NFL, but Quinshon Judkins, one of, if not the best running backs in the SEC, returns for Ole Miss. What else do we have early in the afternoon? Portland State at Oregon, 3 o'clock on the Pac-12 Network. Oregon should roll there. Into the 3:30 in the afternoon games. Ohio State playing a conference game week 1 on the road at Indiana. Ohio State, of course, replacing C.J. Stroud. But they return all those wide receivers, both their running backs. Jim Knowles, year 2 as defensive coordinator there. A big step forward, or at least a significant step forward, expected for Ohio State defensively this year. Don't know that they'll be tested today against a terrible Indiana team, but that game comes on 3:30 on CBS. So for those of you who have been waiting to find out how weird it's going to be to see the Big Ten on CBS, your wait is almost over. Today at 3:30, Ohio State at Indiana, yes, on CBS. Boise State at Washington. This might be the best 3:30 game of the day. Boise State has not been as good recently as a lot of us remember them being. You know, for a while, they were the dominant, quote-unquote, group of five team. Before Central Florida had their run, before Cincinnati had their run. They were, late 2000s, early 2010s. They've sort of taken a step back the last few years. But, boy, this would be a big win for them today if they could pull it off on the road at number 10, Washington. Michael Penix Jr. returns at QB there. Washington has what I think might be the best defense in the Pac-12. Washington should win this game at home. But if you're looking for a potential upset today somewhere in the top 10, this might be your best bet. Rice on the road at Texas, 3:30 at Fox. Quinn Ewers returns as quarterback. Texas, of course, replaces running back Bijan Robinson, but Texas is another team that's just absolutely loaded at the wide receiver position. Top 3 or 4 wide receiver room in the country. Defense expected to be much better. Lines of scrimmage should be good. If Quinn Ewers can consistently play up to his ability, Texas could have a really big year. Quarterback for Rice, JT Daniels Christ. That's right. JT Daniels continues his campus tour this year, suiting up for Rice. So JT Daniels Christ versus Quinn Ewers today at 3:30 on Fox. Notre Dame hosts an FCS team. You heard me right. Notre Dame, who's been bragging for 50 years that they don't play FCS teams while simultaneously filling half their schedule with service academies. Well, that comes to an end today when Notre Dame hosts Tennessee State. Wisconsin hosts Buffalo. Luke Fickell's first ever game as a Power 5 head coach. We'll see how they do. New look offense, supposedly, for Wisconsin. They brought Tanner Mordecai in, a quarterback from SMU who's got about 7,000 yards passing over the last 2 years and 1 million touchdowns. And Phil Longo, I believe, is offensive coordinator. Wisconsin expected to go to more of a passing offense than anything most of us have ever seen at Wisconsin. I don't know how much of that's going to take place right away. I mean, they still have a bulldozer of an offensive line and an NFL running back in Braylon Allen, who's gone over 1,000 yards in each of his first 2 seasons. I still expect Wisconsin to be a run-first team this year, but I do look for them to transition to more of a passing team, maybe as the season goes along, but definitely into next year and the years to come. But they host Buffalo today at 3:30 on FS1. Auburn, with head coach Hugh Freeze, makes their debut today hosting UMass. UMass has already played a game and beat New Mexico last week. So that's an obvious advantage for UMass. I don't think it's enough of an advantage for them to win on the road at Auburn, but we'll see. Michigan State transfer Peyton Thorne takes over at quarterback there for Auburn after the failed experiment known as Brian Harsin crashed and burned after about 1.5 years. Towson at Maryland at 3:30. Eastern Kentucky at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's first game as a member of the Power 5. Now, this is not a Power 5 matchup. They're hosting Eastern Kentucky, but that one comes on at 3:30. Mississippi State, SEC Network at 4 o'clock. Even if you don't want to watch this game, tune in for a few minutes and take a look at their uniforms, their helmets in particular. They're doing a tribute to Mike Leach, and they took the Mississippi State logo off the sides of their helmets, and they've got a version of a pirate flag on the side of their helmets today. It's a pretty cool look and a nice tribute, I think, to Mike Leach. Mississippi State hosts Southeast Louisiana at 4 o'clock on the SEC Network. Georgia hosts UT Martin, 6 o'clock, streaming on ESPN Plus or SEC Network Plus. Georgia should win this game by as much as they want. The only real questions I have about this game is I'd like to see Carson Beck start well. Good decision-making, obviously no turnovers. Get out of this game with no injuries, particularly at the running back position. And will we see 2 quarterbacks play for Georgia today, or will we see 3? That's really the only thing I'm keeping an eye on in that game today. What else do we got? Heading into the early evening games, we've got Nevada at Southern Cal at 6:30 on the Pac-12 network. I most likely won't watch any of this game today, but I will be curious if Southern Cal's defense looks any better at all than what it did last week against San Jose State, when it did not look good. It looked basically the same as it looked last year, the same as every Lincoln Riley defense has ever looked in every single year that Lincoln Riley's ever been a head coach. Can Southern Cal's defense take a step forward in week 2 at home against Nevada? We'll find out. They obviously have one of, if not the best offenses in football, led by returning Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams, a bunch of NFL wide receivers, and some really good running backs. That freshman branch for them he might be one of the most exciting players in all of college football. No surprises offensively. We know they're really good. That defense, though, boy, that defense can cost you at any time. So we'll see how they do today. Kansas State, the defending Big 12 champions, host Southeast Missouri State, 7 o'clock, streaming on ESPN+. Deuce Vaughn gone off to the NFL. Quarterbacks back, though, at least one of them. They played multiple quarterbacks last year due to injuries, but high expectations for Kansas State this year, and I feel like kind of flying under the radar, but I expect them to be a good team again this year, at least an 8+ win season, and could contend for another Big 12 title. New Mexico at Texas A&M, 7 o'clock on ESPN. I will be watching at least the first quarter of this game. I know it's New Mexico. Texas A&M shouldn't have a problem winning, but I can't help it. I'm curious. The whole thing with Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino, I just can't wait to see how that unfolds. I just can't wait to see how that unfolds. So I'll probably keep an eye on that game, at least in the first quarter, just to see what Texas A&M's offense looks like and if Bobby Petrino is really calling the plays. We'll see. Vandy plays at 7, streaming on ESPN+. Central Arkansas at Oklahoma State, 7 o'clock, streaming on ESPN+. Alabama hosts Middle Tennessee, 7:30 on the SEC network. So we'll get Jalen Mildew is announced as the starter. We'll see. Again, similar questions to what I was saying a few minutes ago. But so we know Jalen Mildew is going to start. Will we see Ty Simpson? Will we see Tyler Buckner? Will we see Dylan Lonergan or whatever the true freshman? Will we see more than one QB? We'll see. But it's going to be the Jalen Mildew show. The debut of Alabama's Murder Ball, as it's been dubbed, tonight, 7:30 on the SEC network. West Virginia at Penn State. I have to admit, I forgot about this game. Now, I think West Virginia is going to get destroyed. I'm talking they could lose this thing by 4 touchdowns. I think West Virginia is going to be horrendous this year, and I'm even higher on Penn State than most other people are. And everybody's high on Penn State. I'm higher than most. I think Penn State's going to absolutely destroy West Virginia. But this is kind of a throwback rivalry type of game here a little bit. Worth keeping an eye on, 7:30 on NBC. North Carolina at South Carolina. Another really great game. This is a hard one to pick, too. Spread's only around 2.5 points. Neutral site game in Charlotte. Spencer Rattler versus Drake May. But, it's like I said in the video about this game the other day, is as much conversation has been surrounding the quarterbacks, and I get it. That's fun to talk about, Drake May versus Spencer Rattler. It's the running game of North Carolina, I think, that ends up being the difference in this game. South Carolina is one of the worst teams in the country against the run. They're the worst team in the SEC against the run last year. They lose 3 defensive linemen and both starting inside linebackers from last year's team. North Carolina gets all 3 of their top running backs from last year back. Plus, we know what Drake May can do with his legs, too. So, not that Drake May and Spencer Rattler won't put on a show and make some plays, but I think the difference in this game will actually be the running game of North Carolina. I like the Tar Heels to win a close one. There. Tulane, a ranked Group of 5 team, hosts South Alabama, 8 o'clock on ESPNU. BYU hosts Sam Houston. UCLA and Coastal Carolina. If you're going to be up late tonight watching football, this could be an interesting game. UCLA is breaking in a brand new quarterback. Coastal Carolina is not. Grayson McCall returns as quarterback for Coastal Carolina, I guess. And for what seems like the 100th year, I guess he's still there. I know he thought about transferring and didn't, so I guess he's going to be the QB. Anyway, they travel all the way out west to play UCLA. This could be an interesting game here. Coastal Carolina would love to pull this upset. I don't think they will. I think UCLA will win the game, but Might be worth keeping an eye on if you're looking for a late-night college football game after all the other primetime games have ended. Coastal Carolina at UCLA, the late game, 10:30 p.m. Over on ESPN. So there you go. That's a run-through of all the games, what times they come on, the channels, brief thoughts. Thoughts, too, by the way. Caleb Daniel says, happy week 1, dummy. Yeah, happy week 1 to you, Caleb, a consistent 5-star around here. Yes, you are. 5-star. 5-star dummy. Yeah, they ain't played nobody. That's true. Toady Cadenhead says, Toby is here. Thank God. Thank you, Toby. Man, that makes me happy. I was thinking about that earlier when I was reading through the list of names. I was like, man, where's Toby Cadenhead? But here you are. Here you are. What are y'all eating today? What kind of game day food we got lined up for today? And is anybody going to any of these games today? Anybody on the way to a game now or going to a game this afternoon or whatever? Let us know. Let us know. Yeah, I'd be interested to know. I'd be, what am I looking for? Oh, yeah, these are not the droids I'm looking for. These are not the droids I'm looking for. I do see all the PayPals and the Cash Apps that have came in, but to avoid turning the whole show into me just adding names to the wheel, I'm going to wait until the end of the show when we actually add the names to the wheel to go through these PayPals and these Cash Apps. But just want to let everybody know I do see these coming in. So if you sent one in, don't worry, I got it. And we will get to it at the end of the show. I don't want to turn the show into me just adding names to the wheel for an hour. So we'll just do it all at the end. If you want to get your name on the wheel and have a chance to win some money at the end of today's show, just click the Cash App link or the PayPal link in the description of the video. We're going to attempt to give some money away at the end of the show. We'll spin the wheel. If the wheel lands on your name, you can pick any game you want today, either against the spread or the over-under. And if you get that game right, I will send you back twice what you sent me. After we pick that name, we're going to pick a second name, and I'm just going to give something away to that second person, to the second name. I'm just going to give something away, and I'll let you know what it is at the end of the show. You'll have two choices. But we're just going to give something away at the end. So 2 winners today at the end of the show. Get your Cash Apps and your PayPals in. It's a great way to help support the show, and I know it's not much, but it's just something fun to do for the people that help to support the show. So I really appreciate that. All right, let's see. Did y'all let me know what y'all were eating? Let me scroll back up. What are y'all eating today? Let's see. 45 nuggets and a gallon of lemonade from Chick-fil-A. Wow, a gallon of lemonade? R.I.P. your stomach, I guess. How can anybody drink a gallon of lemonade? I don't know. Michael Sprague says he's boiling shrimp. You never go wrong with shrimp. And, of course, just like our buddy Bubba Gump used to tell us, there's a million ways to do it. There's a million ways to do it. Carson says he's eating Ray Ray's barbecue. I'm not sure if I know what that is. Jamie says Buffalo Wild Wings. I had wings on Thursday night for the Thursday night games. I ordered from Wingstop. If y'all are familiar with that, I ordered from Wingstop. Not the best wings on planet Earth, but consistently good. You don't have to worry about them screwing you over. They're consistently good. They're not great, but they're consistently good. James says he's grilling hot dogs, chips and salsa, and a cerveza favorite, SOL, or Sol, I guess. Yeah. What do you think about the possibility of Notre Dame beating Ohio State and getting into the college football playoff this year? Well, they got to not just beat Ohio State. They got to beat Ohio State, Southern Cal, Clemson, and everyone else on their schedule. And I don't think Notre Dame will go 12-0. RB Smata says he's eating Domino's Brooklyn style. Boy, that's disappointing. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I can think of anything more disappointing than delivery from one of the big box pizza places for game day food. Man, that's disappointing to me. Look, it's not that I don't like Domino's. Of course, I've eaten Domino's, and I would eat it again, but I don't know, man. Big box pizza for game day food, just not doing it for me. Just not doing it for me. Let's see what else we got. Smoked a pork shoulder, says Traction Jackson. Gonna be eating that on tacos. A pork shoulder. Isn't that something? Garlic Parmesan boneless wings. Does anybody want to tell him? Jonathan Miller says he's eating garlic Parmesan boneless wings. There's no such thing as boneless wings, buddy. You're eating chicken nuggets. Okay? Like, calling them boneless wings doesn't somehow make them fancy. You're eating chicken nuggets. Oh, my God! Oh, turn it off! You're eating chicken nuggets, buddy. Hey, lady, we got one guy ordered Domino's, another guy eating chicken nuggets. That shit don't make no sense. It's game day. Oh, there's nothing I can do. They made these decisions. Mean Machine wants to know if your chicken nuggets come with a toy. That's a great question. Great question. Look, I'm not going to lie. I like chicken nuggets. Somebody mentioned Chick-fil-A earlier and getting 45 chicken nuggets or something. But notice they didn't claim they were getting boneless wings. They just went ahead and said, yeah, I'm getting 45 chicken nuggets. You're eating chicken nuggets and pretending they're wings, man. They're chicken nuggets, dude. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with chicken nuggets. The only thing wrong with chicken nuggets is pretending that they're wings. They're not wings. There's no such thing as boneless wings. Boneless wings are flavored chicken nuggets. That's all they are. Boneless wings are good. Well, there's no such thing as boneless wings. If you think boneless wings are good, that just means you like chicken nuggets. Nick Koenig, thank you for the super chat. He says lemon pepper pulled pork sandwiches today. You can never go wrong with pulled pork sandwiches. You can never go wrong with barbecue pulled pork sandwiches, whatever. That's a staple. That's a staple, yeah. We're making jalapeno poppers and a cheese ring. Man, I love a cheese ring. Now, I've never made one. I've just eaten other people's for 40 years. I've never actually made a cheese ring, but we're making a cheese ring for the first time today. And we're doing jalapeno poppers. I got a vegetable tray. What else do I have? Mozzarella sticks. We got all kinds of, not really, not really doing a meal today. It's all grab and go finger food type stuff today. And a lot of it, a bunch of it. Of course, I've got pimento cheese. Yeah, but I love the homemade jalapeno poppers. Sometimes if I'm lazy or I just want like a snack at night during the week or something, then I do buy like the box of frozen jalapeno poppers sometimes from the grocery store. But man, the homemade ones you make yourself are so much better. And that's what we're doing today. You get a whole jalapeno and you slice it long ways in half. So you end up with the two halves of the jalapeno. You scrape out the inside of the jalapeno, the seeds and the veins. You just smother the inside of it with cream cheese, wrap a piece of raw bacon around it, stick a toothpick through it, make 15 or 20 of those, stick them in the oven for a predetermined period of time. And your taste buds will thank you. Oh, it really is good. It really is good. Remember when everyone was fighting each other for chicken sandwich? Yeah, where was that? Popeyes or something? I never went and got one. I never went and got one. 10 out of 10 times that I get a chicken sandwich, it's from Chick-fil-A. Yeah, it's from Chick-fil-A. But I do remember when there was that big fuss about the chicken sandwiches at Popeyes. I do remember that. Cowpoke Ranch. Now, here we go. Cowpoke Ranch says smoked salmon, bacon-wrapped shrimp, and steak fillets. Never tried bacon-wrapped shrimp before. Excited to see how it turns out. I'm pretty sure that bacon-wrapped anything is probably a winner. I'm pretty confident in that assessment. I'm pretty confident in that assessment there. What am I attempting to do? I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be asking, would I? No, I wouldn't. Am I attempting to do that? Yes, I'm attempting to do that. I knew I could figure it out eventually. I have faith and confidence in myself in terms of my ability to figure things out on occasion. Guess what? Should I even mention it? I have something new for the Your Season is Over video tomorrow. No, I'm not even gonna mention it. I'm not even gonna mention it. I'll do a sneak peek during the Patreon stream. I can trust those people to keep a secret. We'll do a sneak peek during today's Patreon stream at noon. If you joined late, thank you for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up. There's almost 600 people in here, but only 230 thumbs up. I know for a fact we can get it to 350. 350 thumbs up. You have to be excited about the first full day of the college football season. I mean, yeah, we had week 0, which was an appetizer, and we had a handful of games at night over the last 2 days, but today is the first full day of the 2023 college football season, and only 265 people are excited about it? I don't understand. Make it make sense. Please hit the thumbs up. It's literally the easiest thing you can do to help support the show and the channel in that. Doesn't take you any time, effort, or energy. Hit the thumbs up. I think we can get it to 350. Cowpoke Ranch, thank you for the super chat. Good to see you in here. Lynn Joe says Rotel dip. I almost did Rotel dip today. That's become kind of a go-to for me. I love Rotel dip. I don't know if there's more than one way to make it or not. We do it in the crock pot. I guess that's how most people do it. That might be the only way to do it. I don't know. But we do it in the crock pot. But yeah, I did not do Rotel dip today, but I almost did. Pizza Hut or Domino's? Neither if I can avoid it. If I have to eat Pizza Hut or Domino's, then it doesn't matter to me which one I eat. Neither one is some sort of amazing pizza. I mean, if you're going to get pizza, you should go to a local place. That's not any local place anywhere is better than Domino's or Pizza Hut. Period. Or Papa John's or any other of these big box delivery people that are making 1 billion pizzas a day as fast as possible and then delivering them to you in a Velcroed box or whatever. Yeah. Corso doing game day at age 105 is a hard watch. Yeah. It seems like, well, we've been down this road for the last 2 or 3 years with Corso, but I think we all kind of know what to expect from it now. Enrique, thank you for the super chat. He says, happy college football kickoff, Lou. Hope all is well. PSA to the Trojan fans, don't get hard because Corso just said we're beating UGA in the Natty. We have no defense. Corso just said that? Wow, he's out of his mind. Southern Cal's not even getting to the Natty. Not with that defense. They'll lose in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, I picked Southern Cal to make the playoffs, but they won't win a game because they don't play defense. I mean, haven't we seen Lincoln Riley take the best offense in football to the playoffs multiple times? Yes, we have. With Heisman winning QBs, yes, we have. And all they do is lose in the first round every single time because they get outscored. They got no defense. They don't care about defense. I can't watch the game, so being here, we're going to lose the next best thing. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I know you're not. You know what? I got half a mind to time you out, Andy. Now they want to know about CC's Pizza. Come on, man. If you're in CC's Pizza, you better be at a 9-year-old's birthday party because there ain't no other logical explanation for a grown human being to ever step foot in a fucking CC's Pizza, man. CC's? What's the matter? Is Showbiz closed or what do they call it now? Chuck E. Cheese? Is Chuck E. Cheese closed? So you went to CC's? And what are you doing? CC's? Yeah, can I get a piece of cardboard with a mashed up tomato on it and a couple of pepperonis? That's what, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? This guy, never mind everything I said about Domino's. Go to Domino's. Order Domino's. This guy's, oh my God. CC's Pizza? No, man. Come on. CC's Pizza. You going to play Pac-Man while you're there? My God. Jedediah's got it figured out. He says, I'm going to get pizza from a local shop. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. Nick Koenig, thank you for the super chat. He says, CC's went out of business, I thought. No, they still have them here. They still have them here, and they're still absolutely terrible. Look, anytime you can get all you can eat anything for $7, it's not any good. All you can eat anything for $7 is not any good. Sorry, it's not. It's not. Kroger North Augusta has jalapeno poppers in the meat department made fresh. Yeah, every grocery store sells the pre-made jalapeno poppers in the meat department. But we make them ourselves here. Eric Odom says, I bought 12 Angus burgers for $54. Does the Deion coverage stop after today whenever they get destroyed? Unfortunately, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. And don't forget to watch the Deion Sanders post-game press conference. That's going to be must-see TV. I normally don't watch coaching press conferences because these coaches talk for 30 minutes and don't say a fucking word. They're master at talking without saying anything. But the Deion Sanders post-game press conferences are going to be must-watch TV. I, for one, can't wait. I, for one, cannot wait. All right, who wants to look at a way to try to make some money on today's college football games? We're going to take a look at the latest odds, the lines, the spreads, the over-unders, the money lines, all that kind of thing on today's games and see if we can figure out what are some best bets, what are some locks of the week. I don't know. And we're going to try to find a couple of underdogs that we can pick to win the game outright on the money line. And try to really make some money. So we'll do that. Do that now, I guess. There's no time like the present. There's no time like the present. Here we go. Let's refresh to make sure we've got all the most up-to-the-minute odds on these games here. And I'm not going to obviously talk about every single game. We'll kind of hit some of the bigger or more interesting ones. But we've got Colorado at TCU. This is up to 21. The line has been 20 and 20.5 for a while. It has moved to 21, so some late money coming in on TCU. I like TCU to cover. I think TCU will absolutely destroy Colorado. I will not actually bet on the game, though, just in case I'm totally wrong about Colorado, which I have been wrong before. For those of you who've been around for a while, you might remember this, but back in 2019, I actually picked Georgia to beat South Carolina at home. Georgia was a top 5 team. South Carolina was a 3-win team, and I actually picked Georgia to beat them, and I was wrong. I overestimated Jake Fromm's ability. He turned the ball over 4 times. South Carolina scored 1 offensive touchdown and still won the game. So in case I'm wrong like that, again, I'm not going to actually bet on week 1 Colorado. But for my pick, I'll take TCU and lay the 3 touchdowns. I think TCU absolutely destroys them, especially in the second half. I think it might be a little bit interesting in the first half, but I just don't think this game will be watchable from a score standpoint in the second half. East Carolina at Michigan. Michigan's a 36-point favorite. I don't really care about that one. Virginia and Tennessee. This one's down to 27.5. It was at 28, so some money coming in on Virginia late. I like Tennessee minus 28. I have Tennessee minus. I did bet this game. I did bet Tennessee minus 28. With one of y'all, Hoghead, was it? Which is weird because he's a Tennessee fan. Hoghead, what are you doing betting against Tennessee in week 1? You're a Tennessee man. Woo! Yeah, come on, Vols. Yeah, so I'm on Tennessee minus 28, and I did actually bet that game. I did bet that one. Iowa favored by 24 over Utah State. I guess I'm not going to bet this one either, but for the pick purposes, I'll take Utah State. I don't know if Iowa can score 24. Fresno State and Purdue, Ball State and Kentucky. Kentucky minus 25.5. You know what? I like Kentucky there. Give me Kentucky. I'm not betting it, but that's my pick. Kentucky minus 25.5. Bowling Green and Liberty, Northern Illinois, Boston College, SMU. Arkansas State and Oklahoma. I like Arkansas State and the points. I think Oklahoma wins the game without question. I don't think there's any possibility of an upset here. But I like Arkansas State and the 36 points. Ohio State and Indiana. Ohio State favored by 30.5. I'll take Ohio State. I bet Ohio State every single year, every single week of every single year. I'm addicted to. I'm just addicted to it. Give me Ohio State minus 30.5. Boise State and Washington. This could be an interesting game here. Washington, a lot of hype. Michael Penix is back, supposed to have the best defense in the Pac-12. Boise State been sort of under the radar for a few years. I think Washington gets the win, but I don't know. I wouldn't bet that one. For pick purposes, I'll take Boise State in the 14 points, but I think Washington does win the game. Rice and Texas. Texas favored by 35.5 here. They play Bama next week. I'm going to take Rice and the points. I'm going to take Rice and the points. Buffalo at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's favored by 28. I'm going to take Wisconsin. Lay to 28. I'm a buyer on Wisconsin. I think they're going to win the Big Ten West. I think they could win 10-plus games. UMass and Auburn. Auburn favored by 35. That's a big number. That's a big number. Tempted to take UMass, but I'm not going to do it. Give me Auburn, lay to 35. Auburn wins 45-7. Tennessee State at Notre Dame. Tennessee State's an FCS team. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Nevada at Southern Cal. Southern Cal favored by 38. Over 66. I'll take the over 66 points. scored in that one. How about that? I don't normally do the over-unders. That's Pigskin Pete's specialty. But I'll take over 66 in that game. UTSA at Houston. I like UTSA in this one, -2. This game might not even be particularly close. I'll take UTSA, lay the 2. New Mexico at Texas A&M. Texas A&M's a 38-point favorite. This might surprise you, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. Give me the Fighting Bobby Petrinos. I'll take Texas A&M and lay to 38. Can Texas A&M score 38 points? I don't know. They might have to score 50 to cover this spread. West Virginia at Penn State. Penn State -20.5. Give me Penn State. I think West Virginia's a 1 or a 2 win team this year. I think they're going to have a horrible year. Neil Brown will be fired at some point during the season. His downfall starts today when he takes a massive L on the road at Penn State. I'll take Penn State to win by more than 20.5. South Carolina and North Carolina. Boy, this is an interesting game and a tough game to pick for me, too. I went back and forth on this one all offseason. I went back and forth before I made my prediction and preview video the other day. I've decided to go to Tar Heels and lay the 2.5. I think North Carolina's running game is going to be the difference. I know it's exciting, Drake May versus Spencer Rattler, and they will make some plays, but South Carolina was just so bad against the run last year. It's hard for me to believe they're going to make enough of an improvement when North Carolina gets back their top 3 running backs from last year, plus Drake May can hurt you with his legs too. I think that will actually be the difference in the game. I expect both quarterbacks to play well, Drake May and Spencer Rattler, although I do trust Drake May more than I trust Spencer Rattler. Give me the Tar Heels in that one. I hate to do it. But I hate to pick against the SEC. But give me the Tar Heels. I still think South Carolina. In my South Carolina prediction video, I got them going 8-4. So it's not like I'm just shitting on South Carolina. I've got South Carolina at 8-4. That's a better record than almost anybody on the planet has for South Carolina. But one of their 4 losses I have to North Carolina. I'm going to stick with that. Give me the Tar Heels, lay to 2.5. But I think that's going to be a really good game. Middle Tennessee State at Alabama. Alabama favored by 40. 40? Give me Middle Tennessee State. They're not going to win the game. I want the 40 points. Maybe Alabama wins, 45-10, something like that. Coastal Carolina at UCLA. UCLA favored by 15.5. I'm not going to bet this game. And this is a hard one to pick. You know what? I'm going to take UCLA. I think UCLA might be undervalued heading into the season here. I know they're starting a new quarterback, but Chip Kelly's been there 3, 4, 5 years now. He's got his players and his pieces in place. They know how to run that offense. And if for some reason the quarterback doesn't work out, they've got the true freshman Dante Moore. I'm gonna trust Chip Kelly here to get the job done at home. How many people will be at this game? How many people are going to be at this game at UCLA? 5,000? I'm not trolling. 5,000, 10,000? Last year for UCLA home games, they put a tarp over the entire upper deck. What happened is early in the season, they were doing, how they do the aerial shots of the stadium? They were doing aerial shots of UCLA home games, and it was just embarrassing. You just see nothing but empty seats in the entire upper deck. So UCLA actually went out and bought a baby blue, the UCLA blue, whatever. I don't know what version blue it is, baby, whatever. They bought a tarp, and they covered the entire upper deck so that when you did the aerial shots, you didn't see empty seats. You saw a tarp. Yeah, I can't figure out why the Pac-12 disintegrated. It's weird. Yeah, so there might be 10,000 people at that game. I guess we can talk about the other games too. Northwestern at Rutgers. These are Sunday games now, tomorrow. Nothing really interesting other than LSU at Florida State. Like the North Carolina versus South Carolina game, this is an extremely hard game to pick for me. I could see either team winning this game. I think these are two legitimate playoff caliber type teams. I didn't pick either of these two teams to make the playoffs, but these are two playoff caliber, playoff potential type teams. Two teams that could both make their conference championship games, two teams that could potentially win their conference, two Heisman caliber QBs, two really good defenses. Harold Perkins on one side. What's the guy's name on the other side? Not Curse, but what's the I'm drawing a blank on that Florida State Merce. What's the, God damn it. What's the Florida State defender's name? Somebody tell me. Merce? Curse? What? Jared Verse. Damn. I had everything that rhymed with verse. I had curse and Merce. Thank you, Jared Verse. My apologies to White Tonto and to Florida State man for forgetting that. Anyway, NFL players on both sides of the ball for both teams. Florida State's receiving. Look, I picked LSU to win, so I'm going to stick with that. But Florida State's receiving core is no joke, and they're all like 6'6". And if there's a weak spot on LSU's defense, I'm not saying it's weak, but if there's a weakness, it's the LSU secondary. I think they are starting 3 transfers in their secondary today. LSU is also without Mason Smith, star defensive lineman, serving a 1-game suspension. They're without one of their running backs. This game could go either way. The only outcome that would surprise me, honestly, is a blowout either way. I'm expecting and also hoping for this to be a close game because this has the potential to be one of the best games of the season. I hope it lives up to the hype. I picked LSU early in the offseason. I picked LSU when I did my prediction videos for both LSU and Florida State. And so I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to take LSU and lay the 2. But, man, this is going to be a really good game. And then Monday night, Clemson on the road at Duke. I'm obviously taking Duke here. It's gone down to 13. It was at 14. I'm all over Duke at plus 13. And if you have any sense at all, you'll put some money on the money line over here too and win 3.8 times your money. So if you're unfamiliar with gambling, what this number means here, the money line number on the outside, if you bet $100, this is how much money you win. So you bet 100, you win 380 if you bet on Duke straight up to win without the points. But I'm definitely on Duke plus 13. Clemson's going 9-3 this year and losing 3 games. No matter how mad that makes some people, that's what's happening. So there you go. There's a look at today's games, the latest lines, odds, spreads, over-unders, money lines, point totals, all that kind of stuff, and sort of where my thoughts are on some of those games. So what do y'all think is maybe the best bet of the week? Do y'all have like a lock of the week? Is there something you're like super confident, some pick you're super confident in? If you had to bet your last dollar on one of those games, what game are you betting that last dollar on? CC's ain't played nobody, says Joshua Thompson. Well, if they had, they lost. Colby likes Tennessee and Penn State to cover. Yeah, I like both those picks. Utah State and a point, says Jonathan Miller. They're playing Iowa. Penn State minus 20.5, says Daniel Paul. Illinois covering versus Toledo. I skipped over that game. I do like Illinois, though. They're going to have another good defense this year. Sooners going to win the Natty. Well, not this year, they're not. They're not even going to come close. Sir UJ likes Ohio State to cover. Cowskin Carl likes Bama money line. Why? Why would you bet Bama money line? You don't win anything. You'd have to bet $1,000 to win $10. Why would you risk $1,000 to win $10? Matthew Smith likes Clemson to cover. Alpha Freight likes Michigan to cover. Betting Alabama on the money line might be the worst idea I've ever heard. A win is a win. Yeah, but you don't win anything. We're not talking about picking who's going to win the game. We're talking about betting. Why would you bet Alabama on the money line? That doesn't make any sense. You're not going to win any money at all. All you're doing is risking a bunch of money not to win anything. LSU is overrated, says XRP Tribe. Joseph says Duke on the money line. Sir UJ says Kowski and Carl loves boneless wings. Leave Carl Skin Cow alone. Jay Rizzle says, give me Colorado. And the points, you're not taking Colorado on the money line, are you? Look, I guarantee you there are people betting Colorado on the money line. Look at this. And they're going to get paid if Colorado wins. Look at this. So Colorado on the money line, plus 850. A $100 bet on Colorado to win this game will pay you $850 if you win. And you know there's some people out there betting Colorado on the money line. You know there are. You know those people exist. Of course they exist. All right, 10-minute warning for the rigged wheel. 10-minute warning for the rigged wheel. Again, at the end of the show, we are going to spin that rigged wheel and attempt to give some money away. Then we're going to spin it again, and I have a giveaway for the second name today. So 2 chances to win today on the rigged wheel. 10-minute warning. Make sure you get your PayPal or your Super Chat in if you want to get in on the rigged wheel. Help support the show through Super Chat and PayPal. Give your chance yourself to win something. The links are in the description of the video. Let's see. Where's that person that said they wanted to bet Alabama on the money line? Let's find that game. It might be the dumbest bet on the board. You can't bet Bama on the money line. That's how dumb the bet is. They won't even let you do it. You can't bet Bama on the money line. So they're a 40-point favorite. Let's see. Is there anything else close to that where they will let you bet on the money line so we can figure out what the payout would be? Let's see. Well, here's a 20-point game that pays negative 1450. So it's the opposite of betting the underdog. So if you're a 20-point favorite and you bet on that team just to win, you have to bet $1,450 to win 100. So you have to figure it's about twice that, because Bama's a 40-point favorite. So if you find somewhere that'll let you bet Bama on the money line, it's going to be about minus 3,000. So that means you have to bet $3,000 to win 100. You'd be risking $3,000 to win 100 to bet Alabama on the money line. Ryan Smith, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Go Dogs, guck the Faders." Thank you, Ryan. Joshua Thompson, thank you for the super chat. He says, CC's ain't played nobody. That's a fact. Biggs Mikes, thank you for the super chat. He says, enjoy this great day, Lou. Who the F orders Domino's on this glorious day? Hit the thumbs up, people. Go Blue. Owns OSU all time. Year 2000, Lou. Yeah, they cherry pick all these weird dates and points in time to try to prove points that can't be proven. It's weird. Joshua Thompson, thank you for the super chat. Dylan Deloney, thank you for the super chat. He says, what is the Penn State-West Virginia spread? We just looked. I believe it was 20.5. I believe it was 20.5. It was right around 3 touchdowns. Penn State favored, obviously. Joshua Toporek, thank you for the super chat. He says, yeah, good morning, that Uncle Lou. Happy College Football Saturday to you, sir. Happy College Football Saturday to you as well, and to everybody. Senor Dog says, my food for today is an overpriced pizza and a $10 Coke. Going to see the dogs live. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm curious about all the new concession things they have on the one side of the stadium that they renovated. They're supposed to have grab and go areas. I'm not sure what that really means. If it's like gas station sandwiches, I don't know what that really means at a football game, grab and go. But they're supposed to have a couple of grab and go concession areas on the home side of the stadium where they renovated the concourse areas over there during the off season. I think they put in some new bathrooms over there and stuff too. But I'm curious what that means. What can you grab and go with? It must be like pre-wrapped sandwiches sitting in a cooler, maybe, that, like, you know how the gas station will sell ham and cheese sandwiches and shit like that. It must be like that. Grab and go means self-checkout. I guarantee you there's no way they're doing self-checkout at a football game, are they? I don't know. Let me know when you go what that means. I'd be curious to know. Hopefully, Billy Paul says I'm going with Rice and the points. Yeah, I think I took Rice and the points too. Self-checkout is a terrible idea because half the people that are doing it don't know how to do it. I think it's I think self-checkout. I hate self-checkout in general. And it just seems like a really bad idea at a football game. Dylan says UJ blows out UT Martin by 50 plus. 7-Eleven food. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I was thinking. They better have like 10 cops at that self-checkout or people are going to steal stuff. For Billy Paul, thank you for the super chat. He says, Trump loves grab and go. Yeah, you just grab them by the you-know-what. What do you want to see from Georgia? Well, obviously you want to see Carson Beck play well against terrible competition. Because if he can't play well against terrible competition, what does that mean for down the road? I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but we especially can't afford any more injuries at the running back position. I'm curious to see the new players, like I always am. No matter who we were playing, I'd be curious about that. Whether it's the transfers or the true freshmen. How many quarterbacks will play? Will we get to see Brock Vandergriff? Will we get to see Gunnar Stockton? And, no boneheaded mistakes. You'd like to play, as close to penalty-free as you can. No turnovers. That kind of thing. Fun fact about UT Martin, their head coach is the father of Bart Simpson. Their head coach is the father of a cartoon. Okay. TCU will beat prime time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about that. Rodriguez Williams says, Go Dog Lou, been watching for a long time. Love the show. Finally got enough equipment to start my own channel. Them dogs is hell. Yeah, congratulations, man. That's good. That's good. Got to put that work in, man. Put that YouTube work in. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Traction Jackson says, for Georgia, I'm excited to see Roderick Robinson get some carries. Yeah, if you go to the game, they might let you get some carries. I mean, they need running backs. Jimmy Buffett died? Stop. Tell me that's not true. Hey, lady, did Jimmy Buffett die? Can you Google it and make sure they're not trolling me? If that's true, that really sucks because I've been kicking myself for 20 years about never seeing Jimmy Buffett live. I'm not a huge Jimmy Buffett fan, but I've always wanted to see him live one time. And it looks like I might have missed my chance here because a lot of y'all are saying it's true. Man, that's a shame. We're going to play a Jimmy Buffett song. We're going to play my favorite Jimmy Buffett song at the end of the show then. It kind of,
It's true.
yeah, the lady said it's true, so it has to be true. She doesn't troll. That's alarming. I hate that. Man, that brings me down. That brings me down. I remember being in sixth or seventh grade, early on in middle school. And in the neighborhood that I lived in, there was a kid I went to school with, and they had a swimming pool. We didn't have a swimming pool growing up. But this other kid in the neighborhood that I went to school with, his parents' house, they had a swimming pool. And so during the summer, obviously, we spent a lot of time over there. And his dad was a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. And I had never heard of Jimmy Buffett at the time. I mean, I don't know how old I was, 9, 10, 11 years old, something like that. I'd never heard of Jimmy Buffett. But every time we'd go swimming at this kid's house, and his dad was outside, and he'd put music on, it was, I didn't know who it was, but after going over there 3 or 4 times, I realized it's the same music. He's playing the same music all the time. And it grew on me. And before you knew it, like I was, I knew the words and I was singing along and I didn't even know who it was. Well, it turns out it was Jimmy Buffett. He was a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. And every time we went swimming over there, I guess, I don't remember if he had like some kind of outdoor speaker set up or if he just brought a radio outside. You got to remember, I'm old. So when I was 10 or 11 years old, there was no smartphones or Bluetooth speakers. So I don't know how I don't remember what the setup was outside with the music. But come to find out, it was Jimmy Buffett that he was playing. And from that day forward, I was always a big Jimmy Buffett fan. And people who have been to Jimmy Buffett concerts always talk about how much fun it is, kind of like a festival atmosphere. They just kind of compare it to Dave Matthews. I'm a big Dave Matthews fan. And you go see him live, and the music is great, but it's more about just the atmosphere there at the show. And they say seeing Jimmy Buffett live is the same type of thing. And man, that's look, I'm old, like I said. So unfortunately, there's a lot of artists that I have liked over the years that have since passed on. But 3 that I will go to my grave now regretting not having seen live: Jimmy Buffett, Prince, Michael Jackson. I would do almost anything to be able to go back in time and see a Prince concert live or Michael Jackson concert live. And now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to add Jimmy Buffett to that list. I missed my chance. Gaming Lord, thank you for the super chat. He said, I think this season that Georgia Tech gets over the hump. What's the hump? Is the hump making a bowl game? Because even though they lost yesterday, I was still impressed with what I saw from Georgia Tech. They clearly look like a better team. So even though they lost yesterday, I do feel like they may still make a bowl game. But I don't think there will be much more than that. I think 6 wins now. Having lost to Louisville, I feel like 6 wins is probably their ceiling. Maybe 7 with an upset or 2, but I feel like they may still be able to make a bowl game. Sokram says, Jimmy Buffett concert is my favorite I've been to. Yeah, I hate to hear. Y'all really got me down here at the end of the show. And unfortunately, well, like I said, I'm going to play my favorite Jimmy Buffett song at the end of the show. Unfortunately, it's not a very upbeat song. It's not Cheeseburger in Paradise or Margaritaville. It's not my favorite Jimmy Buffett song is not really a very upbeat song, but I can't believe that. That hurts my feelings. In fact, we're going to go ahead and get to the rigged wheel. It's, what time is it? It's 10:37. Again, I will be live streaming all the noon games today on the Patreon page. So for those of you who are members of Patreon, head over to the Patreon page at 12 o'clock. You'll see a link posted. It'll be the first post on my Patreon page. You'll see a link posted, 12 o'clock today. Click that link. It will take you to the live stream, and we will hang out and watch all the noon games together. The 2 big ones at noon are TCU, Colorado, and Tennessee, Virginia. But, of course, we'll be keeping an eye on all the noon games. We'll have a great time. We'll hang out to the end of all those noon games. If I do a second live stream today, it'll be on YouTube, and it'll be prime time. But I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure I'm doing the YouTube live stream at prime time. But if I do a YouTube live game stream today, it'll be the prime time games. If you would like to get yourself signed up on the Patreon page and hang out with us every Saturday to watch some college football, the link is in the description of the video. We have a really good time over on that Patreon page, and it's a great way to help support the channel. I would not be able to do this full-time, year-round for a living and support myself if it were not for the support I get from the Patreon page. So a big shout-out and a big thank you to all of you who are signed up over on the Patreon page. That's literally what keeps my head above water in the off season. In particular, is the support I get through Patreon. So big shout out to all of you. Again, that link is in the description of the video if you'd like to hang out with us and watch the games today at noon. All right, Trucking with Jeter, thank you for the super chat. He says, good morning, Lou. What are your thoughts on today's games? Do you see any top 25 teams losing or making a fool of themselves? Good luck to your dogs today. Jeter, I actually went through every single game on today's schedule towards the beginning of the show. So I'm actually about to wrap the show up now. But if you want to go back and listen to like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the show, I went through every single show game by game. But no, I mean, I don't think there's going to be any huge upsets. Georgia's not losing. Michigan's not losing. Ohio State's not losing. The highest ranked team that could lose today is LSU. That's because they play Florida State. I don't think Washington is losing. I don't think Oregon is losing. I don't think Southern Cal is losing. I don't think Texas is losing. So I don't think that. I mean, it's almost impossible to predict some kind of huge monumental upset. Of course, anything can happen, but I don't think we'll see anything like that today. Travis Turnbow, thank you for the super chat. He says, shout out to Marie and B Bean in the chat. Three-peat campaign, woo. Yeah, the three-peat campaign starts today for dogs. We'll see if they can pull it off. Scott Evans, thank you, sir. Good to see you in here. All right, it's rigged wheel time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding names to this wheel here. Shout out to everybody who helped support the show today with the super chat. I'm about to pull up the PayPal and the Cash Apps now. Everybody on the PayPal and the Cash App, your name is going to get added to this wheel. Then we're going to spin the wheel, and we're going to attempt to give some money away. Then we're going to spin the wheel a second time, and I'm going to give something else away. I'll let you know what that is in a second. But let's get these names added to the wheel. All right. We've got Colby. Colby is the first name on the wheel today. There's Colby. Thank you, Colby. We've got Smata. Smata is on the wheel. Smata says he likes North Carolina to cover. Colby likes Tennessee to cover today. Hoghead wants, he says he likes the over on Tennessee and Virginia. Let's get Hoghead's name added to the wheel. Thank you, Hoghead. He's a Tennessee man. He's a Vol man. J.R. says, effing rigged wheel, loser's bracket. Come on, Jay. You might hit one. We had a week 0 winner where the comment section is 1 for 1 so far, winning on the on their picks from the wheel. So y'all are off to a good start this year. Zeus, what's up, buddy? He says he likes TCU minus 20.5. He's an Ohio State fan, but he's on TCU today. I like that pick. Let's add Zeus to the wheel. Zeus. All right, we got you on the wheel, Zeus. Jonathan R. He says, you may have to text me if I win. I'll not be able to be on my phone for the whole show. Oh, this is Jay Rizzle. Okay, I got your number here. All right, I'll let you know. If you win, I'll let you know. You should make this where I can change this to friends and family so it doesn't charge you anything. I thought you... I don't know anything about that. I thought you chose that. I didn't know it was something I did. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Thank you, Jay Drizzle. Let's get you added. Jay Rizzle. Got Jay Rizzle added to the wheel. Jackpot. Thank you, Jackpot. He says, thanks for all you do. I thought about leaving YouTube, but I decided not to. Boy, that's great news. Doesn't quite make up for the Jimmy Buffett news, but this is great news. Jackpot contemplated YouTube retirement, but has changed his mind. That's great news. Thank you for the show of support from you and others in the community. Let's have a great season. Go Cox and go Dogs. Man, Jackpot, that makes me happy, buddy. I kind of figured you changed your mind. You might have just been in a, people get in a funky mood sometimes. I was hoping that's what it was. Man, that's great news. I can't do without my Jackpot live streams. I've been telling y'all forever, the absolute best live stream during college football season, anywhere you will find on the internet, is a Carolina Jackpot live stream of a South Carolina game. It's the absolute best entertainment you will find anywhere on the internet in terms of college football live streams. Thank you, Jackpot. I got you on the wheel, buddy. Traction Jackson says, put me on the rigged wheel. Great show and great way to start off the season. Oh, and also ice to be a Blinto. Yeah, ice to be a Blinto to you too. Let's put Traction Jackson on the wheel. Traction Jackson's got his name on the wheel. Huffer Billy Paul wants Rice and the points. I like that too. I like that too. Huffer Billy Paul. He's a tater, man. But he's on Rice today. Rice and the points. I like it. I like it. All right, good luck to everybody from the PayPal. Now we'll pull the Cash App up and get everybody added from there. I really appreciate y'all helping to support the show, too. That means a lot. It really does. Let's see what we got. Austin P. Let's put Austin P on the wheel. Not the school Austin P. That's literally his name and his last initial. We got you on the wheel, Austin P. Gage W. We got Gage W on the wheel. Chase G. Got Chase G on the wheel. James H. is on the wheel. That's Nature Boy, ain't it? Yes, Nature Boy making his way to the rigged wheel. Jedediah. Jedediah, now I hate saying this because sometimes I'm wrong and then I feel stupid. But I have noticed you in the comment section several times over the last couple of weeks, and I don't remember seeing you before that. Are you new to the channel? If you are, I'm glad you found the channel. I hope you enjoy it, and I appreciate you hanging out on all the live streams. If you're not new to the channel, and for some reason I just hadn't noticed you before the last couple of weeks, then I apologize. But I feel like with a name like Jedediah, I would have remembered if you'd been around for a while. But welcome to the channel if you are new. Like I said, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you're having a good time. We're just a bunch of ridiculously insane college football fans around here. And sometimes people are a little bit put off with the first couple of videos they might watch of mine or whatever. But usually if people are willing to stick around, didn't we already do? Okay, you already had that one. Usually if people are willing to stick around for a week or so and watch more than one or two videos, they kind of figure it out pretty quick, and they decide to stay and hang out for a while. So I hope that's the case with you. And again, I appreciate you tuning in. You're good people. He says, I've been here since 2016, but with different names on my YouTube. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, that's what gets me sometimes when people change their YouTube name. Yeah, I like the Jedediah deal. I like that. It definitely made me remember you, that name. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, we got everybody added to the wheel. All right, I think most of y'all know how this works by now, but what we're going to do today, this is what we've been doing this every Saturday morning for a couple of years, but I'm going to spin the wheel. Whatever name the wheel picks, you can pick any game you want today, either against the spread or the over-under. If you get that pick right, I'm going to go back and send you back twice whatever you sent me. Up to $25. I don't want people sending me $50 or $100 or something. That's ridiculous. This is just a way to try to give back to those of you who constantly help support the show through Super Chats and PayPals. I know it's not nearly enough. I wish I could do more. And when I can do more, I do. So we're going to do that like we always do. Good luck to everybody. We're then going to spin the wheel a second time. And now, try not to get too excited here. Try not to get too excited here. But we're going to spin the wheel a second time then. And whatever name it lands on the second time, I'm going to send you some Uncle Lou coffee. That's right. Uncle Lou has his very own coffee. Now, why every single one of you hasn't bought 100 bags of this, I don't know. Or maybe you have. I don't know. But you need to. It's absolutely amazing. Start your day off the same way I do with an amazing cup of Uncle Lou coffee. Yeah, good morning. Comes in a bunch of different flavors. You can get whole bean. If you like to grind your own coffee, you can get it whole bean. You can get it already ground. You can even get it in espresso blend if that's what you want. The link to this, the link to the coffee is in the description of the video. But yeah, so we're going to give some away. I'll give a bag away. We'll do a second name on the wheel today, and we'll give away some coffee. We got French vanilla, Peru, blonde. What else is on here? 6-bean blend. I have, the two that I have had are Peru and French vanilla. Those are the two that I've had. I actually like the French vanilla. I wasn't sure if I would like a flavored coffee bean, but it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. And I want to try the, I've heard the 6-bean blend is good too. But I want to try it. But yeah, the link to this is in the description of the video. It's free shipping, $19.99 a bag, free shipping. So $19.99 is literally all you're paying per bag. But there you go. Uncle Lou's got his own coffee, brought to you by the good people over at Devil Dogs Brew and Beans. Yeah, get yourself some Uncle Lou coffee. You'll be glad you did. Yeah, you'll be glad you did. But we'll give some of that away today too. All right, here we go. It's time to spin the wheel. Sir UJ says no wheel for me today. Dang it, you're on the wheel. Your name's on the wheel. Yeah. Your name's on the reel. You sent a Cash App. It says for rigged ass wheel. So I put your name on the wheel. It says for rigged ass wheel. So that's what I did. I put you on the wheel. What are you talking about? You're not on the wheel. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Nature Boy says we missed his name. You need a wrench? Come to the Patreon stream at noon. Everybody on the Patreon stream gets a wrench. You want a wrench? Come to the Patreon stream. RB Smana says, can I pick the number? You can't pick the number because you're on the wheel. Let's see. You know who can pick the number is Paxton. What's up, Paxton? Pick the number. Paxton, give me a number between 3 and 5. Paxton says 4. All right. Again, the majority of you know how this works. But he says 4. We're going to spin the wheel 4 times. The 4th name will be the winner. Pick any game you want against the spread or the over-under. If you win, I'm going to send you back twice what you sent me. The 4th name will be the winner. Smata. Spin number 2. We're looking for the 4th name. This is spin number 2. Jedediah. Spin number 3. Again, the 4th name will be the winner. J Rizzle Drizzle. All right, here we go. Good luck to everybody. Thank you for helping to support the show. Today's winner is Colby. Damn, it was almost you, Sir UJ, and you didn't even think you were on the damn wheel. All right, congratulations, Colby. You are the first of today's winner. Let's see what Colby is on Tennessee. All right, let's pull the lines back up. Refresh, get the latest number, and you're going to get Tennessee. Minus 27.5. Let's write that down. Let's write that down now. Where's my rigged wheel sheet? Here it is. Rigged wheel. Rigged wheel. All right, week 1. Colby. Tennessee minus 27.5. All right, Colby. Good luck, buddy. We got you down. All right, and now we're going to spin the wheel again. And somebody's going to win some coffee. If you don't like coffee, well, you know what makes a great gift? Uncle Lou coffee. So if you don't like coffee, get you a gift bag and give it to somebody. All right, so we're going to need somebody else to pick a number between 3 and 5. Robert, I see you. Robert says, can I pick the number? Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead, Robert. Cable Demon says his name got left off. Did you send a PayPal or a Cash App? Which one did you send? Because I didn't see your name on there. Robert says 5. Cable Demon, if you're talking about the super chat you sent earlier, I don't do it for the super chats, only for the Cash App and the PayPal, because YouTube steals half your super chat. So I don't ever do I don't do giveaways through super chat. I only do it through Cash App and PayPal. Plus, if I have to send somebody money back, I can't do that through super chat. I can do it through Cash App or PayPal though. Travis Turnbow, I didn't see your name on the Cash App or the PayPal either, only on the Super Chat. I think some of y'all are I don't, the Super Chat doesn't get your name on the Super Chat doesn't get your name on there because YouTube steals half. So, for example, you send me $10 Super Chat. Well, I only get half of that. So it makes it impossible to do what we do with the rigged wheel. Plus, there's no way for me to send you the money back through Super Chat. With Cash App and PayPal, I obviously know who sends the money. I just send it right back to them. All right, the number was 5. We're looking for the second. So I'm sorry if there was some confusion on that or if I didn't explain it clearly enough during the show. But, yeah, anytime we do giveaways, it's never through Super Chat. It's always through Cash App or PayPal. The number was 5, so we spinning the wheel 5 times to pick the second winner. Here we go. Spin number 1. Ooh, that's close. What was that? Nature Boy? All right, spin number 1. Spin number 2. We're looking for the 5th name this time. The 5th name. This is spin number 2. Traction Jackson. Here comes spin number 3. We're looking for the 5th name. The 5th name will be the winner this time. Damn, Traction Jackson again. You don't see that too often. Spin number 4. Spin number 4. Zeus. Spin number 5. And today's second winner and the brand new owner of a bag of Uncle Lou coffee. Chase G. Let's see. Chase G. Email me, Chase. My email is in the description of the video. Email me, and we will get you set up with a bag of coffee. How's that sound? Thank you to everybody that helped support the show today through whether it was Super Chat, Cash App, PayPal, hitting the thumbs up, participating in the comment section. All of that stuff is a huge help to the show and the channel, so I really appreciate it. I hope everybody enjoys their week 1 of college football. I know I am. I am excited. I'm ready to get this thing started, get it underway. It feels like everything leading up today has kind of been kind of like a preview or like a trailer for a movie, and then today is like the feature, right? Full day of college football starting at noon, going till 1, 2 in the morning with the late games tonight. Again, I'll be live streaming at noon over on the Patreon page, so make sure you check that out if you're a member of the Patreon page. A link will be posted on the Patreon page just before 12 o'clock noon. Just click the link. It'll take you to the live stream. You can come hang out with us. And watch all the noon games, including TCU, Colorado, and Tennessee, Virginia. So can't wait to see you all over there. Appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. Good luck to everybody's team today, unless you're UT Martin. Unfortunately for UT Martin, y'all are going to have to lose today. I hope everybody else's team wins. I hope we have no major injuries, and I hope we have some exciting football. I'll be posting reaction videos all throughout the day for all the big interesting games, or if anything crazy happens, you can count on me to get a video uploaded. Hopefully we'll get some point and laugh material. I'm pretty sure that we will. All right, everybody, enjoy Saturday of week 1. Live today at noon on Patreon. Live tomorrow night for LSU, Florida State, right here on YouTube. And live Monday night for Clemson and Duke right here on YouTube. Enjoy your Saturday, and I'll see you again real soon. Have a good morning.